Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. It's Opinions with an A. You heard Michael Corleone from Godfather 3. That's how I am with The View. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. So, seems like there's an awakening happening on The View because I think some people are scared of losing their jobs. Namely, Alyssa Farah Griffin, who was supposed to be the conservative on the show, but she'd been grifting the whole Trump hate thing, the never Trump thing for a while now. Now she's starting to realize I better get on board with maybe starting to make some sense when it comes to Trump and not being totally deranged, kind of like Morning Joe did in the other video I did today. So it seems to be a phenomenon that we have going around. Donald Trump has broken these people. He has made them realize I can't just keep talking crazy anymore. It worked while it worked. Now I have to change my path. If I want to stay on television, I'm going to have to actually maybe try to make some sense and maybe be the slightest bit objective when I'm talking about the Trump presidency. This is different than 2017, ladies and gentlemen. Things have changed. Let's get into this on The View without further ado. That rhymed.
I actually think it was the right thing to do, and I've heard a lot of folks on the left coming after Joe and Mika saying, don't normalize him. Well, 75 million plus American voters normalized Donald Trump by making him President-elect Donald Trump. In this notion that if sort of the resistance who opposes him stayed in their safe bubbles, sat on their hands and just complained about him for 4 years, that would have a bigger impact than sitting down. I talked to Mika, actually. They met with him for over 90 minutes. They raised very valid concerns. They both see themselves as opinion journalists who want to actually be able to engage the person that they talk about every day, actually be able to raise issues with them when they're concerned. And in the same way,
I got to stop it for a second. Now they're saying they're opinion journalists. That's new because I don't recall them ever just saying that they're opinion journalists. Now they're opinion journalists. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I always thought they fancied themselves as news anchors.
I thought it was right for Joe Biden to meet with him, and that I think it's right for presidents to meet with foreign adversaries to try to find diplomatic relations and ways to bring people together and solve problems. This is absolutely the right thing. I would sit down with Donald Trump. I would interview Donald Trump, and I'll go a step further. I hope good people work for him. We need to stop demonizing people because they supported a man who just became president of the United States. We should hope good people are around him and smart journalists are challenging him.
Where was this for the last, I don't know how many years? Where was this? Where was this? You, because The View, when they put out ABC, that says something leaked. It said they want to get some Trump supporters on their panel, like someone that isn't anti-Trump on their panel to try to bring the show back into the center a little bit because they're bleeding viewers now, like everybody else is, whose viewers realize they've been lied to for the past 8, 9, 10 years. So Alyssa Farah Griffin is realizing I was supposed to be that person. But I realized I could make money grifting the other way, and so I went that way. Now, if I keep doing that, they have no use for me on this show. I'm going to find myself with a pink slip in my locker, you know? So that's what's going on here. As I said, Trump has broken these people.
Are you talking? Well, okay.
This one just can't control herself. She's racist, and she is extremely Trump deranged, and she's not too bright. Bad combination.
Look, the bottom line is that America needs a free press that is willing to speak truth to power right now, more than ever. And
nonsense platitude.
I think that we have to be very clear-eyed when we think about the president-elect and cover the president-elect. And I don't think you need to sit down for 90 minutes at Mar-a-Lago and kiss his ring to be able to speak truth and to be able to cover a story. So maybe...
So Trump was just supposed to let these people who have literally called him Hitler and a fascist for the past how many years just start covering him again? Why? Why would he do that? Why would... You don't deserve to cover him. You don't deserve sit-down interviews. No, you should have to go there and kiss his ring at this point. He's earned it. In spades, he's earned it.
They're not journalists in the true sense. Maybe they're saying that they're opinion journalists. But we have to remember that Trump is the guy who ushered in the era of fake news. He is the guy who ushered in...
Could you be any more disconnected from reality? Fake news is he's the one who made everyone realize that you're fake. That's what you don't like. You were running this game, this scam on the public for decades. He's the one who exposed you all as fake. That's why you hate him.
alternative facts. He is the guy who attacked 3 black female journalists. He's the guy that revoked Jim Acosta's press credentials for asking him a question.
Jim Acosta was not asking questions. Jim Acosta was the most disrespectful news person in the history of anyone that ever went to the White House. Jim Acosta disrupted every press conference, every event Donald Trump was at. Jim Acosta wanted to be the center of attention. Jim Acosta made it about Jim Acosta. He deserved to have his press pass revoked. You don't just get to act like an idiot because you have, quote, freedom of the press. Doesn't work that way.
And so I think that this president-elect, I hate to say it, would like nothing more than to have only Fox News cover him, would like nothing more than a state-sponsored media. And I don't think he can
projection is amazing.
Trusted in the way that other presidents can be trusted. This is an aberration.
But the reality is he doesn't just have Fox News. He didn't do a lot of mainstream media this election, but he went on Joe Rogan and reached 50 million people.
Yeah.
None of us could talk to Donald Trump again. No mainstream legacy media could. And he's still going to reach the vast majority of this country.
She gets it. They don't need you anymore. They don't need you anymore. You're on thin ice, all of you.
So I actually think extremely highly of both Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. I don't think this is opportunistic. I don't think that this is a judgment on their character. I think they recognize 75 million people voted for this guy. He will be in power short of something, an impeachment for the next 4 years. So where can we make some changes on the margins?
I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well.
She is so affected and such a racist. She sees everything through that prism, that lens, and it's distorted. It's a prism. I'll use a Barack Obama term. She sees everything through a racist funhouse mirror. That's what she sees everything through. She's very disturbed.
I think that we don't want to think that about ourselves, our neighbors, our friends, but it's. My lived experience tells me that it does still exist, even if your lived experience doesn't tell you that it exists. And
give us some examples of how you have faced racism anytime in the last, I don't even know how long, Sunny Hostin. You live a top 0.1% charmed life in the world. I don't get it. Give us some examples. You're sitting here on national television making millions of dollars, and they're letting you say this stuff. Where's the racism? Where's the misogyny? Where? It's incredible that you're talking and you're making a cartoon of yourself in real time.
The facts support that. I think we have a graph. If you look at there's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris. It's very clear. It's not only clear by race, but it's also clear by education. And so the notion somehow that is not true. This is by education. Those who attended college voted for her at a higher degree than those that didn't.
She puts down people that didn't go to college every chance she gets. She's such an elitist. Keep doing it. I hope you keep doing it. As I've said before, the more you keep doing it, the easier it is for us, the normal people, to win.
And I've said that, let me just finish. And so I've said that before, and there was so much backlash because I think it's an uncomfortable, inconvenient truth about this country.
But his whole point is they didn't vote for him because of racism and misogyny. They voted for him because they felt like, I think the biggest common denominator in this election is people want a good life and ability to provide for their family.
Well,
whether we agree or not with Donald Trump's plans,
Black people
they thought that he was reflective.
One of the poorest demographics in this country. But
that's something we've all been trying to figure out, Sunny Hostin. And no, a lot of black people went the other way this time because they're tired of getting lied to and used every 4 years. You don't have to experience that. See, that's their lived experience. You don't live that experience. You're above the pricing system forever. It doesn't matter how the policies of the Democrats have driven everybody else into poverty. You'll never live that experience, Sunny Hostin.
They voted for Kamala Harris.
But there was a split, and more of them voted for Donald Trump than had historically. I think that there's such a desire. If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny, you're missing it. Most of my family, a lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I'm white, I voted for Donald Trump because of racism.
Correct.
That's not, let me just ask, what stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect the two.
Yes, you can. There's a lot
Hold on. Calm down. Everybody just take a breath. Take a breath.
Well,
So there you have it. Alyssa Farrah Griffin, I guess, is not going to be a doormat for all this crap anymore. Maybe she's finally, going to say, I got to save my career. I better start making some sense and being objective. She worked for Donald in Trump's administration, in his first administration. She then went full never Trump, all crazy, deranged, and now she's realizing that party's over. It's over. And she'll be the first one out the door at The View if they bring in somebody who actually is objective and makes sense. So I think she's trying to get in front of it, is what she's trying to do. And Sunny Hostin, I don't know who's worse, her or Joy Reid. I don't know who's worse. Who do you guys think is worse? These people are stone cold racists. And the fact that they're on major networks, national television, spewing this garbage, this vile, just divisive rhetoric every single day. When is somebody at these networks going to have the guts to say, you know what? We can't have this anymore. We just can't have it. It's not good for anybody. It's wrong. When is somebody going to have the guts to say it? Trust me, I think if you do it, you're going to get backed up. A lot of people will come out of the woodwork and be like, they'll give you the golf clap. They'll give you the golf clap. They're just too afraid. They're waiting for somebody with some guts to do it. Has nothing to do with her race. It has to do with what comes out of her mouth. I'll leave it there. Like I said, The View keeps pulling me back in. Hopefully, this will be the last of it. Probably not. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. Continue to follow me at Opinions Vary.